First, we need to talk about how these ports are even possible. A lot of these projects start with something called a compilation. Basically, developers work backwards to recreate the original game's source code structure, allowing them to understand how the game works. Once that happens, developers can start doing things that were possible before. Higher resolution, smoother frame rates, widescreen, modern controllers, and features that feel like an actual modern release. Instead of just emulating the game, these projects can become native applications. And this is why people get excited. You're not just playing an old game again, you're playing a version that feels like what the developers might have made if technology existed back then. It's basically retro gaming with modern expectations. Now comes the part that affects me the most as a Mac user. The problem isn't that Macs aren't incapable of running games. The problem is that most developers have limited time and they usually target the biggest platforms first. Windows has the biggest PC gaming audience, and a lot of tools and testing setups are built around Windows, Linux, also benefits from having a strong open source gaming community. Mac is in a harder position. Apple has made improvements for gaming, especially with Apple Silicon, but gaming has historically not been the main focus of the platform. Mac users meddle instead of graphics API. Many PC games are built around, which means developers sometimes need extra work to support it. And when you're a small fan project with only a few developers, adding another platform can be a lot. This is something I've been running into while covering these projects. A new PC port releases, I want to test it, I want to see how it performs, if it works on Mac, what kind of setup is needed. But sometimes the Mac build just doesn't exist. Sonic Adventure 2 Redux, some N64 projects, and other fan ports are great examples of projects that I would love to test, but Mac support isn't always there. The good news is that this scene is still growing. More classic games are being preserved, improved, and brought to new platforms. Maybe one day Mac support will become a bigger priority, but for now, I'll keep testing what I can and cover these projects from a Mac user's perspective, because these games deserve a second life. The question isn't whether Mac can run retro games, it can. The question is whether developers will keep making Mac builds.